Good evening, folks, those in the Illinois land. My name is Earl Macomb, and I am your StripesCam facilitator for this evening. Thank you for joining us for this virtual college fair hosted by the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling and powered by StripesCam. A few housekeeping things that you should know as you are watching into this webinar, and we're going to hear from these universities. The Q&A function button on your toolbar there is functional. That's how you'll communicate with these college representatives. They can answer you privately through that Q&A. You can also use the chat if you want to, but really the Q&A is probably the best way to get your question answered. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists won't be able to hear you or see you. You'll be able to hear and see them. A reminder that there's always sessions to register for on strivescan.com/Illinois. And at that same URL, you will find the recording for this particular virtual college fair. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to take down my screen here, and I am going to tell you the universities who are joining us this evening. We have Xavier University, College of Creative Studies, Rock Valley College, the University of Dayton, and Miami University in Ohio. So, and you will find that order on the screen underneath the chat there. We'll put that up there for everyone to see. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Julie Nelson from Xavier University. Folks, thank you for joining us. Have fun with this session. I hope you learn a whole lot. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Earl, and good evening, everybody. We're glad you're here joining us. My name is Julie Nelson, and I am the Regional Recruitment Director for Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a fancy way to say that I don't live in Cincinnati. I live here in the Chicago area. So thanks for joining us, and here's a little bit that you need to know about Xavier. So we are in Cincinnati. Like I said, we're a medium-sized Jesuit Catholic institution. So we're 5,000 undergrads and about 2,000 grad students, which puts us solidly in that medium-sized school category. If you know anything about Xavier, you know that our mascot is the Musketeer. And if you know anything about Musketeers, you know that their rallying cry is all for one and one for all. And that is certainly the way we live the experience at Xavier. We want you to know that from those first steps you take on campus, you are part of the Xavier family. And one way we really emphasize that is by introducing you to these guys. This is our move crew. And so on your first day on campus, when you roll up in the minivan in front of the residence hall and you're nervous and you're excited and you don't really know what's going to come next, these folks greet you. They're singing, they're dancing, they're carrying refrigerators because that's their job, to schlep all of your stuff that you've brought to campus up to your room for you. So just one way that we say, okay, now that you're here, you're part of this family. So who are these students? Well, we're mostly outside of Ohio. I would say about 55% of our students come from someplace other than Ohio. Our freshman class every year is somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300 students. So big enough that you always have somebody new to meet, but small enough that you truly do have a great sense of community on campus. Our average class size is just about 20 students. So you will get to know not only those fellow students, but your professors as well. And I think that really is a great reason to choose Xavier, is that when you are sitting in a class of 20, certainly you're going to have friends from Columbus and Cleveland and Chicago and Cincinnati, but you're also going to have friends from Boston and from San Diego and from Washington, D.C. and from really all over the globe. And so in those classes of 20, where there's a premium placed on your classroom experience, your participation, you get to learn just as much about the world from your professors as you do from your classmates. Lots of majors to choose from at Xavier. We have about 90 undergraduate majors and about 60 undergraduate minors. I'm not going to recite them all. That would be a terrible waste of my time, but I do want to give you a few of our top majors, our nursing program is a direct entry program in our College of Nursing. So when you apply to Xavier, you do need to apply by December 1st of senior year if you're interested in nursing. Otherwise, we're on a rolling admission basis for all of our other majors. And I would say really you can even come in exploratory, which you see at number 4 there. That's our undecided major. Undecided sounds a little too chill. Exploratory gives you a little bit more guidance to help you pick that thing that you would be most interested in. Biomedical sciences, I get a lot of questions about. That's really our major designed for students who want to go on to professional school, particularly medical school. Last year, we had a 92% placement rate into medical school. So lots of great majors to choose from. This by no means is an exhaustive list, but we know that no matter what you major in, you are going to need some guidance, particularly making that transition from high school to college. And so every student at Xavier gets what we call a success team. And as a freshman, that's 3 people: your academic advisor, your financial aid counselor, and your success coach. And then we will add career coach into the mix sophomore year. These are full-time staff members, not other students, who are there to guide you through and through, I guess, your Xavier experience, everything from making sure you're taking the right classes to certainly helping you negotiate those bumps in the road that everybody encounters as a freshman. We also have a really cool mentoring program, which allows you to connect with professionals in the Cincinnati area throughout your 4 years at Xavier. This is usually how people start the conversation with me about Xavier. They're like, oh my gosh, your basketball team. And that is one of the coolest dichotomies at Xavier, is that while we are a school of 5,000 undergrads, we have a Division I basketball team, as well as 17 other Division I sports. And this unbelievable stadium is right on campus. We've made 6 NCAA Sweet 16 appearances since 2008. There's about 11,000 seats here in Cintas, and student tickets are free. So not just for the basketball games, but for our theater productions, for whatever you might want to see on campus. We are open for visitors. So if you've got some time in the next few weeks, we're open actually every day from now until May 1st. So come and see us. Just go to xavier.edu/visit and you can see all of the options. And then you can get to know Cincinnati a little bit as well. Cincinnati actually has more Fortune 500 companies per capita than New York, Los Angeles, or Chicago. And that really leads to the fact that our students are very successful once they get to graduation. In fact, last year, 98% of our students had a job within 6 months of graduation. And if they didn't have a job, they were certainly in graduate school. They were volunteering full-time in a program like Teach for America or AmeriCorps, Jesuit Volunteer Corps, or they were enlisted in the military. So we are really proud of the fact that our students are going out and, as St. Ignatius of Loyola, who was the founder of the Jesuits, would say, setting the world on fire. I would love to hear from you. I would love to welcome you to campus. Here is my contact information. I'll also drop that in the chat. And I am thrilled that you've taken some time tonight to learn a little bit more about Xavier. So I'll pass it back to Earl and get on to our next presenter. Thank you so much.
Julie, thank you. So our next presenter is Patty from College of Creative Studies. Before she goes and as she sets up her slides, I just want to remind folks on the other side that we have this Q&A function to post your questions there. Again, you can put that to a specific school if you need to, but that is how you can communicate with the folks on the other side. So I see Patty's ready to go, and I'm going to mute myself, turn myself off, and Patty, off you go.
Thanks, Earl. My name is Patty Spencer. I'm an admissions counselor at College for Creative Studies, which is in Detroit. I am also, like Julie, a regional recruiter. I actually live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is on the west side of the state. So what I have for you guys today is just a quick presentation about CCS, about the school, to really just give you some ideas about what's out there. I'm probably talking to a slightly smaller group of you guys because we are a visual art school. So we have art design, you know, making with your hands, a lot of technology, all of those kinds of things can really appeal to a certain group of students. Like I said, we are located in Detroit, Michigan. And Detroit has actually really come into its own in the last few years. There have been amazing changes, especially in the downtown, the midtown areas. we've been known as Motor City for a long, long time, but we're also home to the Detroit Institute of Arts, which is one of the biggest art museums in the world. Eastern Market, which is a large open air farmers market, murals in the market. There's a lot of different opportunities, and especially for the arts. So that is a really cool thing. Just to kind of give you guys some ideas. We do have a campus in Midtown Detroit, just slightly north of the downtown area, and it has two parts to it. On the top here, you can see our Ford campus, and in the bottom in the right there is our Taubman Center campus. We also have housing available, so that is students can live on campus, but you're not required to live on campus. And it is a safe location. I always like to point that out. Parents get a little nervous when they hear Detroit, so. Size-wise, we have just over 1,400 students, and that makes us about a mid-sized school for art schools. There are some that are a lot smaller, some that are a lot bigger than we are. And we have a really nice diverse mix of students. This past year, we had students from 34 different states and 24 different countries. What do we have to offer you major-wise? Again, we are a visual art program. We have 11 different majors, and we also have 20 different minors, 9 emphases, and actually 4 master's degree programs as well. And these are going to range from hands-on traditional fine arts, crafts, to things like animation, film, transportation design. CCS has literally one of the best transportation design programs in this country. We also offer a teacher certification program if you're interested in teaching art. So, even if you have multiple areas of interest, you can major in one and you can minor in something else as well. This one is just kind of fun. We're really proud of some of the awards that we've won. These are on our website. You can check them out. One of the more recent ones, LinkedIn named CCS one of the top 3 design schools in the country. And we thought that was really impressive because they actually are pulling that information from our alumni and for what they're doing on LinkedIn itself. These are just a few kind of fun numbers here. Again, if you are a creative thinker, if you're a creative problem solver, there are a lot of job opportunities out there. One of the biggest things that I hear from students and especially parents is, I don't want to be a starving artist. That doesn't need to happen. There are too many different things you can be doing as a visual artist these days. I mean, art literally touches your life in ways you don't even think about, from the toothbrush you brushed your teeth with this morning, the clothes you're wearing, even the screen that you're watching this presentation on today. So there again are a lot of different opportunities here. So designers, fine artists, concept designers, photographers, filmmakers, documentarians, all of those kinds of things. You guys might recognize a few of these logos. We have had over 450 companies on our campus over the last few years to interview and recruit students. So I do think that's something to definitely check out at any college that you're checking out or that you're looking at, and also look at the student work too. What are the students producing? Does it look like stuff you want to learn how to do? You're going to have those kind of opportunities. If any of you guys are juniors or younger, I would definitely recommend checking out our pre-college summer experience program. It is 3 weeks. You earn 3 college credits for it. And it's a really great opportunity to not only learn more about CCS, but about art school in general and specific majors, particularly. Maybe you're interested in something like transportation design, but you've never done anything like that before. This is a great way to try it out and to also get some work for your portfolio. Just a really quick outline of the application process. We have a free online application. We need your high school transcripts. Minimum GPA for admission is a 2.5. Higher is definitely better for scholarship. And we do require portfolio for admission. At CCS, the portfolio needs to be 8 to 12 pieces of your best work. And that's probably the one thing that students are the most worried about and concerned about. Reach out to us, though. We are happy to look at work ahead of time to give you some feedback. We have portfolio day opportunities where you can come and let us look at the work again and give you some feedback. And they also happen all over the country as well. It's rolling admissions, but we do have a December 1st priority date for scholarship consideration. And then the last little bit of information here, if you want, you can scan the QR code and get some more information. Sorry, I was timing myself to make sure I didn't go over. And I will put my contact information in the chat as well as a few links for you guys to check out some additional information. Have a great evening. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Patty. So I've got Rock Valley College up next, and I believe that's Joe, and there he is. So I'm going to pass it off to you. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thank you so much, Earl. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is Joe Wolford. I'm a coordinator of new student enrollment at Rock Valley College here in Rockford, Illinois. We're about 10 minutes or so, or maybe 20 minutes or so south of the Wisconsin border. So just helping high school students, non-traditional students with their first year of college and just getting started on their college career at our community college. So Rock Valley itself, we're a comprehensive two-year college here in Rockford, Illinois, serve over 340,000 people in the district with over 100 courses in transfer, career programs, and certificates. So just helping students get started with those general education classes to get them started before transferring to one of these amazing four-year colleges that are with us or anywhere else in the nation. We do have multiple locations here as well. We have our main campus where my background is actually my office at main campus right now. We've also got our Stenstrom Center that's near one of our high schools out here where we have our automotive program held. Our Aviation Career Education Center is at our local airport where we actually have our entire aviation maintenance program so students can learn how to work on different airplanes. We also have a downtown location where we have some of our extra additional classes. Some of our gen ed classes are taught down there as well, or in some of our GED courses are held there too. And now we've also got an advanced technology center that we're opening this fall for more of our trade programs like welding, CDL truck driver training, CNC machining, industrial maintenance, and mechatronics to really help bolster the students in that aspect of our area. So the different degrees that we offer here, we've got 3 transfer degrees that are Associate of Arts, Science, and Engineering Science degrees. So those are those ones made to transfer to four-year colleges, get a lot of gen eds out of the way beforehand. Then we've also got our Associate of Applied Science degrees. So those are going to be more technical programs that are focused on a specific major, something like nursing, computer science, business, criminal justice, that aren't as geared towards transferring, but are set to get a lot more hands-on experience and certificates and get students into the workforce a little sooner. And then some programs that are just certificates that don't require an entire 2 years to earn those either. And those can be even taken as electives for some of the transfer degrees too, to earn those. So some of the options we've got, we have that would be our technical programs, would be like our respiratory care program, our dental hygiene program, which is actually, we have an entire dental hygienist office in our health science center that students get to practice on each other, but also anyone from the community can actually pay to come and be a patient here. We have an EMT program with our full-scale EMT lab, our surgical tech labs, and our RN and CNA and phlebotomy programs. And with our RN program, students can actually start by going through that, earn a CNA certification for a certified nursing assistant, go through the RN program to become a registered nurse, and then transfer directly to St. Anthony's College of Nursing, which is to get their Bachelor's of Science in Nursing right on our campus even. Some options outside of the medical field would be like welding, automotive, and then aviation maintenance, like I mentioned. These pictures are from the actual labs we have at our Stenstrom Center for the automotive. The welding was at our Stenstrom, but it's going to be moving to that Advanced Technology Center, like I said. And then this is a picture actually from our hangar for the aviation maintenance program. So some of the planes that the students actually get to work on, like actually hands-on for. As far as that ATC goes, if there's any students that are interested in that, we are even doing a free tuition for the first year of programs for the first 2 semesters. So we're doing a waiver program to waive that tuition fee to help students get in there. They're still going to have to pay for class fees and equipment, but as far as the tuition aspect goes, it's going to be completely waived for students that qualify. Like I said, those programs would be mechatronics, welding, industrial maintenance, CNC machining, and truck driver training. So these are going to be earning credentials that even if they're non-credit credentials, they're still going to be credentials that can get them employed in local areas. And we do have multiple employers that come looking for our students from the area too. And like I mentioned too, with the Associate of Science and Associate of Arts programs, just about any major can fall under one of these transfer degrees. If it's not health, science, biology, medical related, then it pretty much falls, which would all fall under the Associate of Science or engineering, if there would be the engineering science. Everything else falls under the Associate of Arts. So pretty much every major that students could be interested in, we can help you find the right transfer degree that would be the best route for you to take the classes you need before transferring on to a four-year college to continue your education. And the way this works is to make it most effective within the state of Illinois. We have all these gen eds that are part of what's called the Illinois Articulation Initiative that just guarantees them to transfer directly to most public and private four-year colleges here in Illinois. Doesn't mean that they won't transfer out of state though either. They just might transfer a little differently. So, reaching out to any of the other members that are here tonight, finding different transfer departments for other colleges might be interested outside of Illinois. There's always something to do to make sure that you're going to get the most out of your transfer. And this is actually the list right here of all the colleges in Illinois that we directly transfer to as well. Scholarships, we also have our Rock Valley specific scholarships. So any students have about a 1 in 4 chance of earning a scholarship through Rock Valley here. It's free to do. We have a process where students make a profile, answer questions that pertain to the scholarships we offer, and then it pulls all the ones that they qualify for, so you don't have to do all the searching through to find out that it's for a major you're not even interested in. It'll let you know exactly what to do to apply for them and continue further with that. We also offer many free student support services to make sure our students are the most effective they can be. Some of the ones we really like to point out are personal and success counseling. So members that can actually be on to speak with students to make sure they are, reaching any difficult situation they're going through. We have people on site to talk to. We also have over 35 student-led organizations, our very competitive varsity sports teams too, like our women's softball team that actually won 6 national champions straight in a row right before COVID. Active on different social media sites. And just to wrap it up here too, would like to say, I'm going to put my contact info in the bottom there too. And let's see here. Yeah, Earl, now I'm having trouble getting out of the share screen as well. There we go. But thank you again. I will put my contact info in the chat for everyone to reach out. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right. So, Amy from the University of Dayton, you are up next. So I am going to stop my screen share just so that we can move forward. Amy, go ahead and try that and see if all is well.
Does it look well?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. So hello, everybody. I am Amy Hayes, and I'm from the University of Dayton. And you know what? I actually came from the high school side, so this is kind of fun for me. I was working with kids, placing them in all sorts of different colleges, and now I came to choose to work for University of Dayton because I loved it so much. So I'm the regional enrollment manager for the Chicagoland area. We've got about 8,300 undergrads at University of Dayton, and a total enrollment about 11,000 with our graduate students. So we're a mid-sized university. So that allows us to offer big school resources, but still have the small supportive environment and personalized education that a smaller institution would have. So it's nice. We've got D1 sports, obviously good basketball team as well. We've got a faculty to student ratio of 15:1, average class size of 26. And I like to say that we offer literally the best of both worlds here at University of Dayton. So at the University of Dayton, we're a top tier Catholic Marianist research university committed to educating each student as a whole person. So we empower students to learn, lead, and serve so that our graduates can lead fulfilling lives and make a difference in the world. And we strive to be really welcoming, very friendly campus where students of all faiths and backgrounds are treated with respect, because we know diversity and inclusion are essential for everyone's success. I have to say that University of Dayton is so incredibly welcoming. It is definitely like joining a family. Call it my flyer family. As a top tier university, our programs and facilities are recognized among the best in the nation. We've got some stuff there up on the slide. So no matter what major you choose, the educational philosophy is still going to be the same. We provide a challenging curriculum in the classroom, paired with hands-on real-world applied learning opportunities in a supportive environment. Your professors and advisors will be there with you every step of the way. We offer more than 80 different academic programs and a wide variety of minors and concentrations as well. So there's really lots for you to pursue, whatever interests you. What I really love about Dayton is we've got our Discover majors for those of you that are not exactly quite sure what you want to do. So we've got Discover Arts, Discover Science, Discover Engineering, Discover Teacher Education, etc. So that's awesome. We also have a nursing cohort. It's only open to 25 students. So that one is definitely competitive. And I would say you need to apply a lot earlier than to that. But engineering and business, all of those other programs are on a rolling admissions. So if you would like to pursue a graduate degree, we do have bachelor's plus master's programs. You could earn your master's at an accelerated pace within sometimes just one more year of earning your bachelor's degree after earning your bachelor's degree, and it's at an affordable rate. So if you go on our website at udayton.edu, you'll see the full list of those options. So we're not just a powerhouse, we're also a home. Giving back and learning how to build community are essential parts that UD experience. So it's not just a school, it really is a home. And you'll feel that sense of comfort here on campus, especially, like I said, when you join that Flyer family, even if you're just visiting. And one way we show our commitment to community is through our campus housing, which is something that is really important at University of Dayton. Near 85% of our students choose to live on campus all 4 years, whether it's in one of our residence halls or in one of our unique student neighborhoods. So we have a bunch of homes and they all have porches and beautiful windows, and everybody likes to hang out and do their homework in the sun on their porch. It's awesome. Because our students, they live side by side in community like this, our campus transforms into more than just a place to live. Our housing is our intentional effort to build a learning and living environment which prepares students for a lifetime of leadership and service in our own communities. And, it's just a lot of fun. It's not just on campus. We definitely take that community feeling into the city of Dayton and beyond as well. We offer more than 270 different student organizations, like group focused on academics, faith, recreation, service, social action, which means that you're sure to find something that matches your talents and interests here at University of Dayton. More than half of our students are involved in club or intramural sports, and fans of our Division I Flyers have been named among the best in the nation. All in all, the students get engaged, and there's so much happening on and off campus, so it's hard for anybody to be bored here. And we are definitely ranked in the top 10 for happiest students on many different websites. Our students love being here and feel supported during their time with us. So we have a retention rate of 91%. And people, they want to keep coming back. Once they receive their degree, 97% of UD graduates are employed in graduate school, participating in a service program, or doing some sort of study abroad, something else, like I said. So it's nice. Those are great numbers, especially with what's been going on. Our graduates receive lifelong support as well. We've got a career service office that they can use for life and a very strong alumni network. So our 4-year approach, that's our tuition, financial transparency, no added fees, same exact tuition for all 4 years. You will get that same merit money, we promise that. We are test optional, and I say, don't submit your test score unless it enhances your GPA and your application. The FAFSA, becomes open every year in October. We've got all of our deadlines listed there. That's something that, just know that our application opens August 1st. We're offering on-campus visits right now for current juniors and seniors. And we announced that we are 100% in person in the fall due to how wonderful we've been with everybody following our COVID protocols. So we encourage you to come visit, see for yourselves what we have to offer. And yeah, come take a look. Here's my information. I will put that in the chat as well. And that was my 6 minutes. So I am going to.
That's perfect. Thanks. Thank you.
Hopefully stop sharing my screen here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that.
I don't know. It's not working for me either.
I'm going to take it over.
Oh, wait,
and,
there we go. Did I do it?
How about that? That work?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. Excellent. Okay, so our last university is Miami University, but before I launch her on her 6 minutes here, again, just want to remind folks that stick around after Hannah talks to you about Miami University. We'll have a bit of a wrap up and then a farewell slide and then just to send off from there. So, all right, Hannah, looks like you're all ready to go. And so I'm going to pass it off to you.
Thank you so much, Earl. Welcome, everyone. My name is Hannah Stone. I am actually the Southeast Regional Enrollment Admission Counselor for Miami University, actually covering for my supervisor this evening, Heather Chase. So I will put Heather's contact information in the chat after I go through my presentation. So a little bit about Miami University. We are located in the town of Oxford, Ohio, which is about an hour southwest of the city of Cincinnati. So if you are looking for kind of that college, small college town community experience, Miami, as well as Oxford, can really check a lot of those boxes. And if we want to go to the next page, there we go. So one thing that I personally love about Miami is we are really a big university with a small school feel. So we have over 120 different majors across 5 different colleges, but we are really taking our overall student population size and really making it kind of that small campus community. So we are on the larger end of what is typically considered to be a mid-sized institution with a little over 17,000 undergraduate students, but our average class size across campus in all of our academic majors is 30 students. All of those classes are also taught by professors, so it really does allow our students to get to know who their professors are, and in turn, our professors really get to know who their students are, their interests. Therefore, if they can make any recommendations for research opportunities, internships, our students are really able to form those relationships right away. And like I mentioned, it is our professors who are teaching your classes day in and day out on campus. We are known as a top 5 institution for undergraduate teaching because of this statistic. We are also known as a public Ivy institution. So this was a mock year developed after a study in the 1980s that listed Miami as well as a number of other really nationally known public institutions as giving an Ivy-esque experience for a public school price. So I will touch a little bit about our value kind of later on. Just a general overview of the type of student who is generally considered competitive for admission at Miami. Some things to keep in mind: we are test optional for this upcoming application cycle for fall of 2022. So it is completely up to our students if they would like to submit test scores to be considered for admission or not. So if you would like to submit test scores, we do list our averages there so you can see what is typically considered competitive for us, but please know that they are not a required part of the admission process. Also with Miami, a majority of our students are coming from across the country as well as the world. So really national as well as international kind of dynamic on campus. So our students are really staying on campus over weekends. And again, kind of that community feel is definitely coming out. We do consider all of our applicants for merit-based scholarships with their application to Miami. We do utilize the common application, so please keep that in mind when it comes time to apply. And we do have a priority scholarship consideration deadline. That will usually occur on December 1st. So if you would like to be considered for these merit scholarships and kind of have that guarantee in terms of consideration, definitely be sure to get your application in early. So to give you an idea of kind of our scholarship ranges and corresponding GPAs that typically see those scholarships, we do have those listed here. Our scholarships are automatically renewable for all 4 years of your Miami experience as well. So our scholarships do tie into our 4-year tuition guarantee, also known as our tuition promise. This locks in the rate of tuition for all 4 years of a student's Miami experience. So really does allow you to budget and plan accordingly for those college expenses for all 4 years right up front. And we do want to prepare you for that next step after graduation. So whether that's law or medical school or going into your first career, you have some really amazing resources that you will be connected with during your time at Miami. We have many national organizations coming specifically to Oxford to talk to and recruit Miami students, as well as an extremely supportive alumni network. And if you would like my contact information, it is listed up here. But like I said before, I will go ahead and put Heather's information in the chat as well. She is the primary contact person for all of our Illinois families. So if you do have questions, would also recommend reaching out to her. So thank you.
All right, perfect. Excellent. So I am going to invite everyone back on screen. Give a few minutes for folks, a few seconds for folks to do that. Great. All right, so to close this out here, we've got a few bits and pieces of information, and really it's advice and then kind of a fun fact. So we have some time on the clock, and I want our college representatives to be able to give thoughts off the top of their head in terms of answering this particular question. So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Each of our representatives, based on the order they presented, so we'll start with Xavier University and then go from there. We'll give their 20-ish second spiel on how you would answer this. And I truly know that you may hear this answer 2 or 3 times, but that's okay. It's not a bad thing to repeat. Where's Julie? Oh, there you are. Awesome. Julie, I am going to let you tackle that one.
Thanks so much, Earl. I would encourage students, and I know a lot of times you just want to start like writing down a list of colleges that you've heard of. I would ask you to take a step back from that first and really do a little bit of soul searching and figure out not just, what you want to major in, because that's a hard question. I think everybody wants to ask you that question, but I think really think about who are you as a student? How do you learn best? What are the things that you get excited about, whether that's a subject in school or an extracurricular activity? What are the things that you value most that you know that the college or university that you attend has to have? And once you start to kind of delineate the things that are important to you, when we as colleges and universities start bombarding you with stuff, you can make some value judgments before you say, okay, mom, dad, whoever's helping you with this college search, let's go out and visit this campus, or let's watch this virtual tour. Because if you just look at, all the cool stuff we send you, and not think about, does this really matter to me? It's kind of a futile process. So think about who you are before you think about who we are.
All right, good. Patty.
Yes, that was amazing advice that Julie just gave. I tell students the exact same thing all the time. My advice is to find a school that's going to be the right fit for you. It's kind of a piggyback onto what she just said. It's not necessarily the school that most of your friends are going to, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or the one down the street, or whatever it is. It's the one where you belong. It's the one where you feel the most comfortable and you're going to be the most successful. So, like Julie was saying, think about what you want out of a school. Is it a big school? Is it a small school? But also visit too, because what you think and the reality could be 2 different things. So, thinking you maybe want a big state university, but then you go visit and decide, whoa, this is way too big. Or, thinking you want a school that has 300 or 400 students in it, and you go visit and decide it's too small. So, knowing ahead of time what some of those important things are to you, is it important that they have a sports program? Is, just anything like that is going to help you and find that school that's going to be the right fit. So again, ask yourself some of those basic questions and, get on campus and check them out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Joe.
All right, yeah. absolutely agree with those. Kind of going off of what Patty said too, like finding the right school for you. That's something I definitely didn't do. I went to a big state college and it was too big for me because I come from a small town with like 52 students in my graduating class. So I should have started smaller and kind of worked my way up from there. What I also learned when I went to that college was I should have budgeted. I should have had a budget, like learn how to budget now, because moving out on your own, while it's awesome, it's exciting, there are so many things to pay for that you just don't, you kind of take for granted when living at home. Learn how to make a budget, because I turned 30 this year. I didn't learn how to budget until 3 years ago when I met my wife. So I wish I had done it sooner, but man, get a budget going and look into how much things cost in the area you're looking to transfer to as well. So you can have that plan going in ahead of time of like what's going to be good living, paying for parking. If you need to pay for parking, paying for just everything, look into all of it.
That's great advice. And key in on that budget. Wow. Never even thought about that adulting skill. That's great. Let's see, Amy.
And I appreciate that, because as a parent of with 2 in college, man, the budget part is very important. So I would always tell the kids to think of the 3 Ps, the programs, the price, and the place. And there's a lot that goes along with that. But of course, you know, if you think you might be interested in one program, but you know, like I'm kind of leaning towards this, but I don't know, make sure you pick a school that has, you know, a whole bunch of programs you're interested in, because a lot of people change their major. I know I did. And just like Joe, I actually went to a large state school and found that I couldn't learn in a class with 500 other students. And also found out that because I was from another state, I wasn't going to be able to graduate on time. These are things I probably should have known beforehand. And then I ended up transferring to a much smaller school and loved that personalized attention. You know, I used to make sure with my students that we would do like a spreadsheet. You know, what's important to you, the weather, the size, the distance, home, you know, all those different things, class sizes, literally go through, plug in, you know, the numbers and see which one has the most positive, you know, points for you, and visit those schools. And then lastly, this is kind of a big one that I wish I would have known. Don't be scared of the price tag, because sometimes, well, most often, I mean, we give a lot of money. So don't be scared of that price tag. You know, if you're really interested in a place, pursue it and see what happens when you get that full financial package.
Okay, Hannah.
All righty. To kind of echo a little bit what everyone else has said, I mean, this is very much a time for students to really grow. College is a time where you really do come into your own and you learn how to advocate for yourself. And that process really can start right now, kind of in this college search process. And so we talk so much about finding a good fit and things to keep in mind, which is all great and good, but you really also have to stick to what you know about yourself, because you know what works for you may not be something that works for a sibling. And I've previously worked with transfer students, and I've definitely seen that play out where school choice was made based on other external factors that ended up really negatively impacting several students. And so students, for you, we are here as resources. We are more than happy to answer any questions that you have, but we want to hear from you. It's great if mom or dad or grownups are helping you with this process. But we really want to hear from you what you are interested in, what your passions are. And so for any kind of guardians in your life, I would definitely recommend the financial process is something that, yes, by all means, we would love to hear from them in. But when it comes to talking about programs, completing the application, please be in contact with us directly, because at the end of the day, that's going to help us advocate for you in our admission committees.
That's great. Definitely, students should have their voice in this process. So excellent. Okay, so you guys did a fantastic job with that. We're just going to go right here to this, and I just appreciate those who are joining us on the other side. Thank you for joining us. As you log off on this webinar, you will get a 4-question survey. Please do complete that just to make the StriveScan function and program better for everybody else. across the nation. Do sign up for more sessions because we have them. And again, the recording for this particular session will be on stridescan.com/Illinois. Okay, let me stop my screen. I think we're going to go back to our, yeah, we do. Here's the gallery view. So happy that everyone had joined us on screen and those off screen on the backside. It's been a pleasure to be your host tonight. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Julie and Patty and Heather and Claudia and Hannah and Joe. It was great to see you all and be your host tonight as well. Okay, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. Take care. Best wishes. Bye-bye now.